All right, good evening. I'd like to call the North Aurora Village Board meeting for Monday, November 6, 2023 to order. Please join me in a silent prayer and meditation. All right, thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Mayor Gaffino.
Here.
Trustee Christensen.
Here.
Trustee Curtis. Trustee Gately.
Here.
Trustee Lowry.
Here.
Trustee Nedved.
Here.
Trustee Salazar.
Here.
All right, thank you. Under audience comments, anybody like to speak? Right now, anyway? All right, seeing none. I have an appointment for the North Aurora Days Committee. I'd like to appoint Norma Yario. Anybody have any comments or objections to that?
Nope. All good.
Good. Okay. All right. We have a presentation. Jason?
Yeah, tonight we have Jamie Wilkie from Lauterbach and Amon here to present the village's 2023 audit. She's just going to go through the process and kind of what was entailed, and I'll turn it over to Jamie.
Thank you. Good evening. I think I'm on. Am I here? Very good. Okay, great. Thank you for having me this evening. As Jason indicated, we are here this evening to present the May 31st, 2023 Annual Comprehensive Financial Report for the village. Certainly want to start this evening by thanking Jason and his team. I know in particular Mandy puts in a lot of hard work related to the audit. Really an outstanding process this year, as we've come to expect coming in for the village's audit. We again this year had no auditor detected adjusting journal entries. I will tell you that is not the norm for most government audit engagements. So I certainly want to thank Jason and his team for all of their hard work preparing for the audit. We have just shy of 150 pages within the audit document this evening. I promise I won't be going through all of them in detail. The goal will really be to provide some high-level overview of key sections within the annual audit and kind of talk about the audit process, and then certainly I can open it up for the board with any specific questions. So we will start with the audit document if you have that in front of you or taking notes for kind of review later. I do want to point out page 8 of the audit document, which provides a copy of the village's Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting. That is an independent review of the village's audit conducted each year by the Government Finance Officers Association. This award is really deemed the highest level financial reporting that any government entity can have. And you'll see that the village did in fact earn that prestigious award for last year's audit. We will again be working with Jason to submit this year's audit document to the program, and we obviously anticipate receiving that award for this year as well. Right after the the certificate award, you'll find the independent auditor's report on pages 11 through 13. So current state statute here in Illinois does require that the village undertake an independent audit within 6 months of the close of the fiscal year. So the presentation and documents tonight do satisfy that legal requirement. As part of that audit, we really have two primary goals. Number one, to ensure the village financial statements are materially correct. That is indicated on pages 11 through 13 of the audit document by what we call an unmodified or clean audit opinion. That is the highest level that the village can earn each fiscal year. Second goal related to the audit is really an overall assessment of the village's internal controls and internal control environment. Certainly this evening, if we had any areas of concern, testing, significant deficiencies, or what we deem material weaknesses, we would have to have that conversation with you all. And I'm happy to report we had no such findings. So in my opinion, really the truest, highest level opinion that you can receive each year. Immediately after that opinion, I do want to point out a very brief section on pages 15 through 29 of the audit document. This section is labeled Management's Discussion and Analysis, or how we refer to it as MD&A. The MD&A really does serve as the executive summary to the report. As I indicated, you have 149 pages to attempt to digest. These 15 pages really do serve as the executive summary. You'll find comparable results to the prior fiscal year, discussion of major transactions and trends that we're seeing in the financial results, key highlights related to things like capital asset investment and long-term debt activity as well. I always encourage our boards, if you read nothing else in detail in that document, I would encourage you to read these 15 pages. The last section of the report I want to point out this evening begins on page 128 and will take you all the way to page 149. This section is what we call our statistical section and really does provide a wealth of historical information for the village each year. Lots of trend schedules related to financial results, as well as information regarding property tax history, long-term debt activity over the last 10 years, operating indicators, things like number of full-time employees, for example. So again, really a wealth of information at the back of the report. I know many of our trustees and council members really enjoy being able to spend some time in that historical information as well. Overall, I just want to reiterate the clean audit process. I'm certainly happy to open it up for any specific questions on the audit document. I did want to mention we have issued a couple of other formal letters related to the audit engagement, which are required each year. There was nothing abnormal, as they say, to report in those letters, so really standard reporting to the team here. Those cover things like disagreements with management, if Jason was not comfortable with certain journal entries, but again, we didn't have anything to disclose, so truly kind of standard communication there. And then we have discussed with the team in the form of a management letter. We have a number of new pronouncements, new technical pronouncements that the Governmental Accounting Standards Board is mandating in the next several audit cycles. So we did make note of 4 of those new pronouncements coming down the line. We'll be working with Jason and the team to ensure that those are properly implemented in the years they are required. So happy to turn it over to you all if you have any specific questions. Otherwise, certainly want to thank the team again for all of their hard work and excellent audit preparation.
Any questions? No. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Yep. Anything else, Jason?
Nope, that's it.
All right, brings us up the consent agenda.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Gately?
Yes.
Trustee Lowry?
Yes.
Trustee Nedved?
Yes.
Trustee Salazar?
Yes.
Trustee Christensen?
Yes.
Trustee Curtis?
All right, thank you. Under new business, item 1, Steve.
Thank you. Item number 1 under new business is an ordinance approving amendments to our liquor code. As you recall, we've been doing workshops at our committee of the whole meetings, and one of the most recent ones we did was for liquor code updates. This is actually a pretty comprehensive update, but there were no concerns at the COW meeting, so we brought it straight to Village Board. Some of the items that are included in this ordinance are reopening happy hour, creating the Class H license for entertainment uses, creating the supplemental package liquor license, the supplemental dispensing license for self-pouring, a new Class Q banquet hall license, and extending to-go cocktails, which is the ability to have businesses provide cocktails for pickup and delivery. And that goes now until August 1st, 2028, matching the state law. And also now granting the liquor commissioner the right to revoke a liquor license for inactivity. This is basically when we approve a license and a license holder sits 6 months or longer and doesn't do anything to the property to bring it into compliance, or even opens their door and we're not sure if they're even opening, the liquor commissioner can then revoke the license for inoperability.
Motion approved.
Discussion? Roll, please.
Trustee Gately?
Yes.
Trustee Lowry?
Yes.
Trustee Nedved?
Yes.
Trustee Salazar?
Yes.
Trustee Christensen?
Yes.
Trustee Curtis?
All right, thank you. Item 2, Steve.
Thank you. Item number 2 is an ordinance decreasing the number of Class B licenses. This is because Ramondo's, which has been in business for years, changed owners. They were historically a Class B license. Upon the new owners coming in and having to get a liquor license, the size of their building determined that they were actually a Class A license. So this first ordinance is simply reducing the number of Class B licenses available for Ramondo's.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Roll, please.
Trustee Salazar.
Yes.
Trustee Christensen.
Yes.
Trustee Curtis. Trustee Gately.
Yes.
Trustee Lowry.
Yes.
Trustee Nedved.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Item 3, Steve.
Item number 3 is an ordinance increasing the number of Class A licenses for Ramondo's. So Ramondo's just got dropped out of Class B, but now they've been brought up to Class A. This is the license that the new owners would then use for their business.
Motion to approve.
Discussion? Roll, please.
Trustee Lowry.
Yes.
Trustee Nedved.
Yes.
Trustee Salazar.
Yes.
Trustee Christensen.
Yes.
Trustee Curtis. Trustee Gately.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Item 4, Steve.
Item number 4 is increasing the number of Class C liquor licenses, and this ordinance is for Crave Hot Dogs and Barbecue that is looking to open at 1049 Orchard Road soon. Also, you'll see on the agenda after this, they are also looking for a supplemental video gaming license. As part of the liquor code amendments, we did create the self-pouring supplemental license, and the packaged liquor supplemental license now allows for beer and wine package to go, as Crave will be looking for that for their establishment as well.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion? So roll, please.
Trustee Salazar.
Yes.
Trustee Christensen.
Yes.
Trustee Curtis. Trustee Gately.
Yes.
Trustee Lowry.
Yes.
Trustee Nedved.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Item 5, Steve.
And item number 5 is a resolution approving a supplemental video gaming license for Crave Hot Dogs and Barbecue. As you know, in our liquor code, we require any supplemental video gaming licenses to go through a process and then ultimately get approval from the village board.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Roll, please.
Trustee Lowry.
Yes.
Trustee Nedved.
Yes.
Trustee Salazar.
Yes.
Trustee Christensen.
Yes.
Trustee Curtis. Trustee Gately.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Item 6, Jason.
Thank you, Mayor. This item is approving the estimate of the 2023 tax levy for purposes of noticing it for the Truth and Taxation hearing. At the October 16th Committee of the Whole meeting, we presented various options of what we could do for the tax levy. As you recall, the 2023 tax levy is actually meant to fund the 2024-25 budget year. So basically, money that will be received next year to fund the next fiscal year that we haven't began yet. Some things that we're looking at in that fiscal year that we've already kind of mentioned last time and noted is the police pension contribution has increased $173,000 up to $1.8 million. Just for context, over the past 2 years, that's a total increase of $382,000. So 3 years ago, we were at $1.4 million. Now we're up to a little over $1.8 million. So we're seeing significant increases there, as well as just normal salary and benefit increases, increases in goods and services. So we have, basically, as we mentioned, the village is subject to the property tax extension limitation law, or PTEL, meaning that we can increase the levy up to 5% or the lesser of 5% or CPI, but CPI was over 5%, so we have the option to increase any amount up to 5% plus new construction. Based on the last discussion from the board, seemed to be kind of split as to what we wanted to do or how we wanted to go about this levy. There seemed to be a lot in favor of just taking the new construction number and not doing anything with the CPI increase to the budget, or I mean to the tax levy. So really what we're looking for is kind of feedback as to what number to go with to notice in the newspaper and come back with in December to set the levy at. Should we just leave it as new construction only? That'd be an increase of $42,984 thereabouts. Those numbers will be finalized as the county goes through all of the the appeals process that people have with the valuations of their properties, as that kind of those numbers get finalized. But that would be about a 1.6% increase over last year's levy request. We did in the memo provide various options, of what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5% would look like if we wanted to do that plus new construction. But really what we're looking for is just kind of some feedback as to a number to set for our levy request.
Motion to accept, or motion to approve, sorry.
Second.
Discussion?
So as we currently have it in the memo, we would be 0% CPI with just the new construction added. So, again.
I'm in
whether-
favor of that.
What, I'm sorry, but are we taking a vote to make that
Taking
what
a-
we're going
we're
to take, or that's,
I think we're taking a vote to decide which number to send to notice to the newspaper to come back with in December to say this is the amount we're going to accept and send to the county.
okay, yeah, I'm
So-
probably not in favor of 0. I'm
Okay.
probably more in favor of like 2.5%, something like that.
I'm in favor of 0. I think we don't need it. We shouldn't take it. It's not our money. It's not going to hurt us. One more year is not going to make a difference. With the exponential increase in EAVs, people are hurting. I don't think we should be taking it right now. We've seen an increase in our tax revenues. I think we really need to reconsider that, raising our sales tax percentage. We shouldn't be relying on the backs of our homeowners, and I think we should do 0, at least just for this one more year.
Yeah, we said that last year, and then next year's election year, and then what's going to happen after that year. So we still have, like, capital projects. I don't know if the board understands, we have like a wood main down Route 31. Wood main needs to be replaced. I don't know how long that's going to last.
Plus, we have an expenditure that, as I read in the packet, that's going up, is it 9.3%? Right,
The
over what it
police
was?
pension- Yeah.
So, I mean, there's expenses coming. You have the Public Works building. I'm not in favor of taking 5, but I am in favor of taking something.
Yeah, I agree with Salazar. 2.5.
Jason?
Same.
Same. Mike?
I'll go with 2.5 as well.
Okay. So do we're under discussion right now. Do we need to, what?
Well, I suppose take a voice vote to authorize the
2.5%?
Yeah, not a voice vote, a roll call vote.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so we'll do a roll call vote for 2.5%.
Is there a motion and a second?
There has been.
I'll second the motion.
Yeah, I think on the 2.5% there should be a motion.
A separate
Yeah,
motion.
Yeah.
I make a motion.
I'll second it.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Gately,
Yes.
Trustee Lowry,
Yes.
Trustee Nedved,
No.
Trustee Salazar,
Yes.
Trustee Christensen,
Yes.
Trustee Curtis.
No.
All right.
And then there should be a motion to approve the levy with that change.
Okay.
Motion to approve the levy with that particular change.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Okay.
Wait, what was the second thing?
A motion to approve the levy with that change then.
Change it to 2.5?
Okay. Trustee Gately,
Yes.
Trustee Lowry,
Yes.
Trustee Nedved,
No.
Trustee Salazar,
Yes.
Trustee Christensen,
Yes.
Trustee Curtis.
All right, thank you. Item 7, Jason.
Thank you, Mayor. This item is actually accepting the annual comprehensive financial report that Jamie Wilkie was here earlier discussing. Everybody has copies of it we were given, and it has been posted on the village's website for public review. I'm not going to go through, page by page or anything like that, but I just will point out a couple highlights from it. If you read through the management discussion analysis, as she mentioned, the total village-wide cash is $43 million, up $8.5 million. But a lot of that is tied to very specific items. A lot of that can only be spent on water-specific items or capital only or within the TIF. So a lot of it's restricted everywhere. The village does have $43 million of cash on hand to use for various items. General fund reserve balance was at 68.8% as of the end of the year. The policy is to target 40 to 50%, so we're kind of well within, well over that target balance. We did make that $3.3 million capital transfer from the general fund to the capital projects fund, which will in turn most likely be used to pay down money for the public works building should we go ahead with that. But those are some key highlights you'll find within the management discussion analysis.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion?
Trustee Nedved,
Yes.
Trustee Salazar,
Yes.
Trustee Christensen,
Yes.
Trustee Curtis. Pardon?
Yes.
Okay. Trustee Gately,
Yes.
Trustee Lowry.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Item 8, Brian?
Thank you, Mayor. This is approval to waive the bid process and accept a proposal from Marshall Electric to furnish and install a transfer switch at the West Treatment Plant. Replacing the transfer switch will be a proactive step to replace aging equipment before it fails. The planned replacement will ensure the reliability and resilience of the water system. Marshall Electric has performed electrical work at wells 8, 5, 9, and both our treatment plants in the past, including replacing this same switch in 2021 in the East plant. So they are very familiar with the work. So staff would like to recommend waiving the bidding process and accept Frank Marshall's proposal in the amount not to exceed $41,815.
Motion approved.
Second.
Discussion? Please.
Trustee Gately.
Yes.
Trustee Lowry.
Yes.
Trustee Nedved.
Yes.
Trustee Salazar.
Yes.
Trustee Christensen.
Yes.
Trustee Curtis.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Item 9, Chief?
Thank you, Mayor. Staff is seeking authorization to modify the vehicle type and purchase process to acquire 4 squad vehicles for the police department. As mentioned in the previous meeting on October 2nd, the state bid program that leverages better prices for municipalities cannot keep up with the demand. Dealerships appear to be unable to fulfill any 2024 orders, as well as uncertainty for any 2025 orders. While it is the preference of staff to keep the majority of the fleet the same type of vehicle, the situation has forced us to explore other vehicles and dealership options. One of these options is a Dodge Durango. It is similar in size, performance, and cost. We had a representative of the Carroll Stream Police Department bring one of their squad cars out, and the consensus was positive, and it would definitely meet the needs of the department as a squad. Staff first researched bids for Durangos, and we were unable to locate any with police pursuit packages, so we took this opportunity to check locally at the Riverfront Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram dealership at the North Aurora Auto Mall. The dealership has indicated that they had the inventory to order from should we decide to move forward. The 2023-2024 fiscal year budget included $190,000 in funds allocated for the purchase of 4 Ford Police Interceptor Explorer vehicles. This line item did not include retrofitting 3 of the vehicles. A portion of the cost was estimated at $47,550 would most likely be brought forward for board approval at a later date as a budget amendment. At this time, staff is seeking authorization to purchase 4 Dodge Durango squad vehicles from the Riverfront Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram dealership at the Auto Mall for the patrol fleet in the amount of $43,215 each for a total cost of $172,861. And moving forward, staff will be researching police squad car options, including hybrids. We are unsure what the vehicles will be for the future state bids. We're hearing hybrids, electric, Explorers. We're unsure, so it'll be fluid, and we'll keep doing our research.
A motion approved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll, please.
Trustee Gately.
Yes.
Trustee Lowry.
Yes.
Trustee Nedved.
Yes.
Trustee Salazar.
Yes.
Trustee Christensen.
Yes.
Trustee Curtis.
Yes.
All right, thank you. That concludes new business under Village President Report. I have nothing. Trustee comments?
I just want to congratulate Jason and his team for another excellent and outstanding year. You've really had continuity from the past person in your role, and I just want to say great job, and we're all really proud of the work that you've done.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Administrative report?
Just a couple things. First, we keep moving forward with our Public Works facility project, and we're getting closer to actually having the interior, the infrastructure, if you will, the plumbing, the electric, the HVAC. That's what we're focusing on now. But we're getting to that point now where we're finishing up our due diligence period. We extended it by several months. As we're still looking at that site, making sure we're getting ready for all the final land swap agreement and everything for the board. And the referendum for the sales tax, that's the other thing I wanted to mention, that there is a timeline for that. So we are looking to come back as early as the next COW meeting to have a discussion about the question for the referendum. And then my staff is already working on putting together information, timelines, and everything. We're already starting that process to roll out all the information for the public.
All right, thank you. Department reports? Motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, the same. Okay, thank you. We'll be starting our committee of the whole shortly.